myself. I am Luke Doster, the Program Director for Venture Attractor. You'll learn a little bit more about this program. It is a part of the EPIC Institute here at UCCS, which is the Alkmaar Institute for Innovation and Commercialization. So we're all here today to celebrate Demo Day, which is the culmination of our 6 ventures journey throughout the Scale to 1 Million Boot Up Camp. The 6 ventures that went through this boot up camp, they're all going to be giving a 5-minute presentation. These presentations are going to be evaluated by our panel of judges, and the best pitch will be winning this $5,000 check tonight. And so, pretty exciting deal. There's some money on the line, and all of these companies have come a really long way, so we're really proud of all of them. And you may have noticed there's some tables and demonstrations set up along the walls. So as you hear about the companies and you learn about them tonight, any questions you have, we urge you after the pitches to go along these tables and ask the questions to the founders, offer any advice or connections that you may want to make in that regard, and test out some of these fun things. We have jiu-jitsu and track and Nerf and all sorts of stuff, so make sure to check that out. And then make sure to mingle with and talk with the people around you. There's a lot of really interesting and cool people here in this audience, and so we want to thank you all so much for coming, and make sure you get a chance to meet somebody new tonight, because you never know where that connection may go. And then I just want to give a big thank you to our beverage sponsor, Goat Patch. They always make these events so much better just because, you know, the vibe and the delicious beer and Nerf guns falling and all that good stuff. All from Goat Patch, so we can thank them for that. And then I just want to thank our mentors, who without them, this program would not be possible. And so, list of mentors are up there. They are absolutely key in helping these businesses grow throughout this 4-month program. And so, without them, can we just give them a quick round of applause, because we would not be here tonight. Thank you so much to all our mentors. And then our judges, I'd like to introduce quickly. We have 5 judges. The 6th one was unable to make it. He was coming down from Boulder, so a little bit of a drive. But to start off, I'd like to introduce Dean Tommy Eicher. He is the Dean of the College of Business, and we are super excited to have him here on the judging panel. And the next Dean Eicher is Bernard Sandoval, owner of Sandia Advertising, the company responsible for rebranding Colorado Springs into the Olympic City, USA. And then next, we have Mackenzie Tomato. Hopefully I didn't butcher that too bad. She is the Executive Director of Business Development at the O'Neill Investment Group here in Colorado Springs, a venture capital and private equity firm. And then we have Lance Cole, the Director of SoCo Startup Week, founder of multiple startups, and just an awesome all-around guy. And lastly, we have Dano Marshall, the guy who's unable to make it tonight, and he is from Venture Partners up in CU Boulder, and a great guy. Has really helped me find my legs in this position. And so, without further ado, I'd like to invite Tom Duening, the founder of Venture Attractor, up onto the stage to give a few words.
Thanks, Luke. Yeah, great to see everybody here tonight. And let me point out and congratulate Dean Eicher that he just got appointed the other day, so he's a brand new Dean. We're glad to have him. We also have our former Dean here, Karen Martell. She's here somewhere. Karen, where are you? Karen? She's a great big supporter, helped us get this program off the ground, so thank you. So I'm just going to spend a couple minutes talking about this program and kind of where it came from and kind of where we are. I need to give you a status update, because I look around the audience here, Luke, about a week ago, he's like, oh my God, there's like 40 registrations, nobody's showing up, oh gosh, what's going to happen? I said, Goat Patch, right? Just mention Goat Patch. And then we had 135 registrations. Actually, he said that he mentioned the free parking. And we saw a spike in registrations for tonight's event because of the free parking. But about in 2012, 11 years ago, nerdy me, academic, I'm sitting there in my office, and I get this email from St. Louis, right? St. Louis, Missouri. Anybody ever been to St. Louis? Yeah. Anybody from St. Louis? Yeah. Don't admit that. Okay? Yeah, don't admit that. Right? But St. Louis was in a blighted downtown kind of situation. Even the famous Arch area and park had become kind of a destination for vagrants and other kinds of things. And it wasn't the tourist destination anymore. So a bunch of civic people got together and said, how do we fix this problem? How do we get new vitality into our downtown? And they created a program, and you all should write this down and take a look at it, right? It's called the Arch Grants, this famous Arch. Archgrants.org. Please look that up, because that's the model that we decided to follow in our pursuit of economic development here in Colorado Springs. And, you know, I'm kind of slow, so it took about 3 or 4 years, and I really wanted to see how that program was going to shape up. So what happened was they raised $5 million locally, and they divided that $5 million into $150,000 grants, non-equity grants, to attract companies to the community. And I thought to myself, who would take $50,000 to move to St. Louis, right? It's going to have to require more than that to move to St. Louis. And I'm not a St. Louis passion. I am, but whatever. But it worked. And so they decided to do it again. They raised another $5 million. And now they're in their third tranche. And let me tell you the results. I just looked them up today. So far, they have funded 230 new ventures in St. Louis. 85% of them are still in the community, right? The quid pro quo for the money is you have to set up your headquarters in St. Louis for at least 1 year, right? They have created almost 3,000 jobs. They have raised $640 million in follow-on capital and generated $600 million in revenue. Folks, that's $1.2 billion in new capital flowing in that community in 11 years. That is amazing economic results. So Bernard Sandoval and I, along with the president of the local EDC and Eric Olson, then dean of the College of Business, decided to go to St. Louis to see for ourselves, and we did in 2017. Blown away by the vitality that had been created in that community with lousy $50,000 non-equity grants. The entrepreneurial community was taking off, and jobs were being created, and new capital was now setting up shop. Venture capital was literally setting up satellite offices in St. Louis so they could be close to the ventures that were growing there. So we said, let's raise $2.5 million here in Colorado Springs and do the same thing. And of course, I launched in January of 2020. Right? And then that got, the fundraising got stopped. So we focused on the Scale to $1 Million Food Up Camp, and that has proven to be a real great resource. So now the way it works is companies that are going to be eligible for a torch grant must first complete the Scale to $1 Million Food Up Camp, which is a 4-month online program that enables us to mentor these companies, help them establish a foundation for growth, and then it's like live due diligence for us, so that our money is going to be well spent by the time we get a chance to award torch grants. So that's what the program is all about. Let me make one more comment. We need your support. There's somebody in this audience tonight, and maybe more than one person, who can add tremendous value to what we're doing. I need to hear from you. Okay? And so does Luke. We want to hear from you. Join us on this quest to create a sports outdoors, health innovation, and human performance cluster in this community. We believe that is the most natural cluster. My final comment is that I've been here for 13 years now. And when I got here 13 years ago, the entrepreneurial ecosystem in Colorado Springs was not that vibrant. In the last month, there have been 3 separate demo days by 3 separate organizations in this community. That's amazing. And it makes me damn proud. And I tell you what, if we had $50,000 grants, we could do a heck of a lot better than St. Louis. Thank you very much.